should I should knock his ass out. That's what I want. That's the goal. So we changed the team. We added a couple more to the camp, and I think my mentality changed on how to fight. It's just not just walking them down and stuff like that. So I think I hope and I know I'll definitely knock him out because he hurt his hand. He couldn't finish me when he knocked me down twice. He couldn't finish me, and for sure the first fight I won, but you guys gave it to him. But it's all good. So next fight, I get him after Fox, or when he want. I know he's gonna want me after I get the title, because he's gonna be jealous. He's like, oh, I got this. I beat Willie twice. How he got the belt? So he can go ahead and suck my dick after I get the belt, and then hold it, have it on top of his head. I'm like, hey, he's mine.
Awesome. Fox, any last words from you?
Nah, same old,
Hey,
bro.
Fox, how much do you weigh right now?
How much do you weigh, Waleed?
Well, you see me.
I see you. I see you posting ribs on your
I know
story.
you see me eating good, right?
Most
I'm
definitely,
not
I do.
struggling with weight at all, my baby.
Mm.
I hope you eating good as me, man. Cause hey, man, I got some ribs for you to try when you come over to Michigan one time. I got an amazing chef that can make amazing brisket and ribs, bro. I'm telling you, I was 138. I was 146. It's crazy. I ate ribs myself. But yeah, Fox. I'm on weight right now. Matter of fact, we should have the
No, that's
wings.
good.
We
I
we
would hope that
we,
you
we
are.
can
And
have the
Waleed,
wings.
trust me,
We can have the wings
Waleed.
tomorrow if you want.
I know. We can have the fight tomorrow. Fuck the
Bro,
weigh-ins. What are you talking about? I
what?
understand. I understand. I understand that you're taking this fight seriously. Trust me. I know that you're training as hard as you've ever trained because you can't lose this fight. You can't, bro. You've given so many chances. Man asked you what happens in this fight. You said, I don't know. You don't know what you'd 15 again, bro, because you've already had two chances. What are you gonna do the third time? You have to win. So train, bro. You told
Yeah,
it to
but
me. I'm telling it to you because you said
trust me.
if I lose this fight, you said my career's over. It's not, bro. You can knock
Trust
me
me.
out. That's
I
great.
I I
I have a
I
redemption.
know what my
I'll
career
come
is
back.
going after this
You can't
better
lose.
than you,
You can't
buddy.
lose.
I know
You
what's
can't
on
lose.
stake. I know what's on stake, and I know what I got coming for me. So don't you worry about my
You
career.
can't lose,
I'm telling
Willie.
you, start thinking about yours, buddy, because yours is not a
You
right
can't
one,
lose.
and
You
you
can't
don't
lose.
got a long career in boxing because of that. It could be that brain damage. So I'm telling you,
Oh, you know
you
about
better
brain
start
damage.
thinking
You can barely
fast,
lace
buddy.
this together, bud.
You better start thinking fast.
Yeah, Dean gonna be like,
Yeah, now, now you, now you on Dean's dick. Yeah. Talk about yourself.
Dean can suck mine.
Let's see your resume. Let's see who you fought. How many title fights you had?
How many
Exactly.
title fights I
You
had? I'm
had
about to
one,
have one
buddy.
later this year.
You
I
had
got one
you
coming up.
had one
Matter of
fight.
fact, I'm
You
glad
had
you asked.
one
I got one
fight.
coming up.
You had one fight against a kid that's 4'5" and doesn't even know how to throw a punch, buddy. Like calm down. Like calm down. And you got the man. Like I said, you gotta change the rule shit. At least
Man, you gotta get change the rules, shit.
I'ma see you.
All
I'ma see
right,
you
all
March
right.
29th, cuz.
Yep. Well, we're very excited about it. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate it. Um, good luck to
Can
both
I
of
ask a
you.
question, ma'ams? Can I ask one
Yeah,
question before I leave? Waleed,
yeah.
will I see you March 29th though? Will I?
Oh, for sure. You gonna more than see me. You're gonna feel me too. You're gonna feel me. You're gonna feel me.
All right. Thank you, guys. Ghazi, back to you.
Ooh, what a fight! I am so excited for this one. Two top lightweight fighters in Misfits. It's gonna be a great fight.
Fight of the night contender for sure.
100%. Now, I do have more questions for you from the KSI community. This one is coming from Thrasher. He asks, whatever happened to the tag team champion belt? Was it scrapped after the draw from the Prime card, or will we see it in effect again?
Um, I think it's a great idea. If a couple of plans we have for uh, a, a tag team, I think a tag team tournament over time or something would be good. But before I sanction that and go ahead and get that going, I want to make sure that we can do it in a timely way so it doesn't drag. I'm very aware of. I'm really glad we got our lightweight tournament done. I think it was such a great fun tournament, but even that took too long. So I want to make sure that all the dates, everything is organized, and so look, sometimes things happen where it's beyond your control, but cruiserweight tournament with the American show canceled. it kind of it kind of had a domino effect. So on some things we've had great luck and some things we haven't. So I can only apologize for the delay on that, but I hate to leave things unfinished. So we will get back to that tournament, and I think it would be really fun to have a tag tournament, um, and put up some real good prize money for the winner, or do something fun. So it's an idea that's brewing.
All right. So the next question I've got for you, ma'ams, comes from Drew Part
I
2.
want to see Wade and Sensei as a tag team.
Oh, the breakdown. Oh, that'll be fantastic.
The the Breakdown Boys.
If I could pick one, ma'ams, I think I'd like to have Ramo and Jay from TGF Bro. I think just having two, like, a YouTube group together as a tag team would be pretty cool.
So you think we should make the tag team like well, Jay is pretty skilled. Um I've got to check in and see how he's doing. Obviously, he withdrew from Qatar for medical reasons, but that would be fun. Maybe the tag team should be, and I'm riffing with you guys here, but maybe the tag team should be like more less focused on the skill and more focused on the personality, and kind of bring fun to it, you know?
I agree with you there, ma'ams, because the last tag team that we had was the Prime card with Wasabi, Lamau, and Pineda and B-Dave, and that was such an entertaining fight to watch. It
But they're
wasn't
all
the most
skilled
technical.
fighters. They're all good,
It
you know?
wasn't the most technical, but it was a brilliant watch because of the personalities clashing, and I'd love to see more like that.
Let's give it some more thought, and obviously if you guys have suggestions, I'll read your comments as well. I'm very open to ideas. What's the next question, guys?
Okay, moving on from the tag team. Drew Part 2 asks, what type of opponents should we expect for KSI's next two fights? And are any of the rumored names we've heard true, or will they happen in the future? I'm guessing that's in reference to the UFC fighters that KSI recently exposed, I shall say.
Yeah. So we were working on a fight with Floyd Mayweather for a long time. Okay, and it was an impossible deal to make. We did everything we could, but it's it's we did everything we could to try and make that fight. But I think their side, without going into too much detail, they just they were it wasn't about the amount of money. You know, the amount of money was fine, but it was about the structure of how that money is taken. For example, if you know on Misfits you fight, you get paid after the fight. That's standard. Everyone gets paid. There's never been a problem. Um, so there's some stuff that couldn't be worked out, and there were some deal breakers, but we worked on that for a long time, and KSI was supposed to that was a fight. They approached us a number of times. We went back, tried to make that fight. It all started with KSI and Mayweather potentially having a tag team fight against Salt Papi and Pacquiao. That was like over a year ago, if you remember that. And uh, I know Floyd's been fighting. I know Floyd's been fighting some other names, and I think that if Floyd, he was once the pay-per-view king. If you look at the top 10 pay-per-views of all time in boxing, his name and Conor McGregor's name are on every single one of those top 10. You know, and I feel like the recent numbers don't do Floyd justice. So I thought KSI versus Floyd would do amazing numbers, and it would be a really, really fun, big name. Um, and that did fall through, you know. But just so you know, we tried. So when I'm confidently, and we're looking really good, and this is what I'm saying, I've got to learn lessons. When I'm confident and I'm like, all right, we got this great fight lined up, this is going to happen, everything's looking positive. Oh yeah, and then I get on my high horse and I'm like, yeah, there's no we're going a boxing route, you know, and then it falls apart. Then you start seeing, okay, there's a limited number of names that you could look at, um, that makes sense. So that's a tidbit I'm giving to you guys, that we did try to make that fight, and I hope at some point in the future that that can be a possibility again. Um, but obviously, KSI also getting back into it after a long layoff. Those other names, are they possibilities? Yes, but I've also they're always there's anything's possible. But I know that having spoken to KSI and London Shoot over the last, I speak to them very regularly, obviously, but there's been a real how do I say? I think JJ is very locked in right now. He's very, very locked in. And when he's focused and dedicating his time to boxing only, it it widens the range of opponents that he can fight, you know? And I think we're in that space now. So we're looking good. I don't want to give anything away or look past the fight we have. That's the fight to focus on right now. But future plans look very good.
Exciting, Mams. Now, I know you did just say you're not looking past this fight, but I do want to ask. RD does ask, how quick will the turnaround be for KSI's second fight this year? Hopefully, if he comes out unscathed.
Um, how quick will it be? That's a question I can't answer yet because um, both myself and London Shoot would like KSI to keep training, take minimal time off, so it doesn't take him a long time to get settled into the regimen again, and then we can. I'm hoping he fights in summer, but again, it's ultimately always up to KSI what he does when he fights, and we got to be respectful of that because he does have so many other things that he's committed to as well. So uh, if it were up to me, I think it would be America in the summer. But let's see.
Let's see indeed. I've got a bit of a random question for you from user Kno909. He asks, "Can you announce the cards like Dana White is doing, like a video you did that one time, which was the Dublin 007? No, not 007. Sorry, 017 card."
Yeah, I have one ready to go for for 21 and for 22, but 21's one I just uh, because the stuff's going on in Saudi, DAZN asked us to wait till Sunday. We were trying to put it out yesterday, so we're going to put it out on Sunday once the smoke has cleared from the Saudi card. And then that I'm hoping that we can announce 22 with a lot more notice as well very shortly after. And just so you guys know, I know this is the number one question that's come up is why do you wait to announce the cards so far into the fighters camp and with little notice? That's not something that I want. That's not something that we, you know, we want the fighters to promote. We want them to have ample time, um, scheduling conflicts and stuff, and we have partners that we have to respect in terms of when we all collectively put stuff out. But we're ready to put. I mean, I've got cards built up for um, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So I would love to announce everything, but it's not fully. It's a partnership, and it takes time. But I have gotten I have gotten a promise that we will rectify this late announcement thing, and we'll get to the bottom of it, and finally get to a place where we get to give people time to get excited, to prepare, to if to block the date in their calendar to make sure they can come to the fight, make sure they can watch the fight, give fighters time to promote. It's so important. It's something that's on the priority and top of my priorities on things that need to change. And I'm hopeful and very optimistic that that is going to change.
Hopefully that does sound like it would improve a lot. I've
Yeah.
got a question. Now this is a big one, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to answer it now. But Diaz asks, how many rounds is KSI versus Dylan Dennis going to be?
Um, that will be announced at the presser, and there will be a presser where we'll announce the date of the presser as well. So that's coming.
I see. I see.
KSI is KSI is ready to do as many rounds as you know as needed at this point.
Awesome, awesome. I've got one question from L Rob 26. He's asking, what is the status of the Bridgerweight division slash the Bridgerweight belt, if there is one?
um, I think rather than do a long drawn out tournament, there are some contenders that would make sense. I know I know there's some names out there. Um, and I think rather than do a long tournament, maybe we'll do two of the top contenders to fight for the Bridgerweight belt um, at some point this year.
Awesome. I've got another question from Hassan. He asks, he says, Mams, I hope you see this and I hope you can answer it now because I may not be able to here in the space. Can you talk or give any hints about the Misfits video game and will it be on consoles?
Yes, that's the plan. But again, I've answered this before. It's premature to talk about it right now because the development of it is it's a long process. And again, we want to get it right.
Awesome, 100%. Big question from this one is from Rick. He asks, are there any kind of reassurance that, or any like repercussions that Dylan Danish will not pull out of this fight as he did back at 004?
Yes, yes. There's been a lot of a Dylan Dennis contract is definitely um, more stringent, and that's I personally don't have any doubt because I've spoken to Dylan repeatedly, and look when he's posting a lot of MMA stuff, but I have been told by his team as well as himself that he is focusing a lot on boxing. I don't know, JJ doesn't release a lot of footage of him boxing because he doesn't want his opponents to know what he's got in the bag. So fighters put out what they want you to see, knowing that their opponents are going to see it as well. But Dylan is very determined to try to show that he's got a lot more to offer than he did when he fought Logan. And I think that that's a driving force for him. And he knows. Um, Look, he asked me for a fight with Eddie Hall. We almost got that over the line. He's looking for his redemption arc and not trying to gas anything up, but that's the truth. The guy wants to fight. And if I end up with egg on my face because he pulls out, um, that would suck. But I just don't see it happening. He's too communicative and too he's asking all the right questions. He seems to be really disciplined on this camp. And obviously for JJ doesn't they don't like each other, for a number of reasons. And I think that makes I think a storm is brewing between them, and we're going to get a lot of a lot of back and forth coming very soon. Especially, I can't wait for the presser, the initial presser between the two of them. Um, it's going to be a very interesting night.
Unfinished business, of course. And to add on to that, Misfits 21, I've got a question from Yan. He asks, if there was one word you could use to describe Misfits 21, what would it be?
Um, if it was one word to describe, I think I don't know, explosive. It's going to be an explosive night. There's a lot of action. There's a few belts up for grabs. There's some really interesting fights, and it's going to be a banger. You know, it's going to be a banger. I can't wait to announce on Sunday. I think people are going to be excited. Obviously, let's not forget the co-main event, absolute banger as well. Darren Till, new star on Misfits. Um, the dentist is also no joke, man. That guy's got serious knockout power. Um, a lot of opportunity for the winner of that one.
I'm really looking forward to that co-main event. You have two UFC fighters who both previously fought on the same card. Darren Stewart fought on, I believe it was Darren Till's undercard in the UFC. Can't remember which one it was, but he's a great character. He's a great character. He just appeared on the latest Misfits news. People should go check it out. He's a great character. It's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's take three more questions, Ghazi.
All right, all right. I've got a question from Chris Fitzboxing. He asks, "What U.S. cities do you want to see Misfits arrive in 2025?"
I would love to see us do. I, w- I would love to do Vegas. I would love to do Cali. Um, at some point. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but that's two, and obviously New York would be great as well.
Awesome. And I've got a question from me to ask you, Mams. I'm not sure if it's ever been officially confirmed by any source at Misfits, but I do want to ask, is Tommy Fury signed with Misfits like Darren Till is?
Tommy Fury has a couple more. Well, he's got two fights with Misfits, and we're working on different options. So we are speaking.
Ooh, two fights with Misfits. Interesting. Well, I'm just gonna have a look at the KSI Twitter community, which I think everyone should join. Greatest community on Twitter. um, I've got one final question for you. Let me see. Let me see. But all right, Ryan asks, if KSI and Darren Till both win their matchups this coming March, would you and how would you want to see that fight potentially as KSI's next opponent?
I think that fight makes a lot of sense if I think that fight makes a lot of sense for the end of the year, potentially, and I think that a lot of people wanted to see that fight now, but it should be. I think KSI getting back in the ring, fighting Darren Till is a very, it's a big challenge, and I think that I know KSI is up for it. I know his team is up for it. I think I think it's definitely a possibility, and I think it's I've seen. I just think sometimes you've got to make sure the timing is right for you, you know. And when you're doing sidemen hide and seek and prime promo and playing soccer matches and everything else, it's not a good idea to fight Darren Till until you're locked in camp and ready for that fight. I think that's a really big challenge, and I think I know JJ's up for it because we've spoken about it, and it's definitely a potential opponent in the future for sure. It just has to line up with commitment, and you got to remember, like, Darren Till is an absolute machine. He's a beast. That would be JJ's hardest challenge to date. Um, we know Darren Till and Tommy Fury were meant to fight. That didn't happen. So, that should tell you something. Obviously, Darren Till has challenged Jake as well. Um, and we haven't heard anything back with regards to that. I think it would be a big UK fight, be a big global fight, and it makes a lot of sense. But not for JJ's first fight coming back, coming off a loss and taking as much time off as he has. I don't think that's a smart fight to take. Do I think? Do I think that JJ? I know JJ, and I know how he thinks, and for him, he. Sometimes is JJ's very ambitious, so he thinks he can do 20 things at once, and it won't affect him. But he is human at the end of the day. So when if and when that fight happens, I want JJ to be 100% locked in and ready for it, so he is his best, and then you've got a true 50-50 fight on your hands.
That fight, if it ever does happen in the future, is a super mega fight. Oof,
I
fireworks.
I agree, and look. JJ wants it, you know. So it's it's not it's not something that JJ wants to duck. Just to make it very clear, he wants that fight, but people who are around him and advising him on his fights also want him to lock in. And they're like, look, you lock in, the spectrum of opponents you can fight widens by a big margin. But if you're not 100% in training camp and that's not the priority, then it's not the same options. So that's as real and as honest as I could be. I think I see that fight happening, um, and I've seen JJ is really in a different space right now. He's really taking his training very seriously right now, but it's taken a while to adapt to making this his priority again. So, when he does that and locks in and takes on the hardest challenges possible, you can't, you guys can't complain that he's not in as many Sidemen videos or he's not releasing a single or whatever it is. You can't have it both ways, essentially.
100%, 100%.
All right. Well, thank you, Ghazi, for co-hosting with me. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm looking forward to announcing this card. We're looking forward to announcing this card on Sunday. And if it's not announced on Sunday, I'm literally just going to deactivate my account. So yeah, I'm looking forward to announcing Sunday and then more announcements very soon after as
Exciting, ma'ams. Well, my pleasure. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
well. All right. See you. Bye.